Project, and she's going to speak about women's rights.
Hey guys, I'm actually going to talk to you guys about how the Richmond Reproductive Freedom Project sees our work connected to the struggle against mass incarceration in Virginia and across the country. So most of our work at RFP is providing both financial and practical support to women who are in need of abortion services. But we also strive to be a resource to the community by engaging in activism for the whole spectrum of reproductive rights. So I just wanted to start and kind of tell you guys what reproductive justice means to us. Reproductive justice exists when all people have the social, political, and economic power and resources to make healthy decisions about our gender, bodies, sexualities, for ourselves, our family, and our community. And I'm going to tell you why the prison system is incredibly damaging to this. The United States has the largest imprisoned population in the world, which I know someone already told you this today. But the number of imprisoned women specifically has risen from 14,000 in the 1970s to more than 200,000 women today in the United States that are incarcerated. Imprisonment is a critical issue for those who care about reproductive justice because it endangers women's health, it jeopardizes women's right to motherhood, and it takes a disproportionate toll on poor women and women of color in our country. So first off, I want to talk to you about prison and abortion. Women do not lose their constitutional right to have an abortion, to determine whether they would like to have an abortion when they are in prison. But prison makes it incredibly difficult to exercise that right to have an abortion. Women must travel off-site, paying not only for their entire procedure, but for their own travel and for the travel and time of the guard that is forced to accompany them to their procedure. Most women, even outside of prison, cannot afford the procedure alone. This makes the right incredibly difficult to exercise. The access to a doctor is also frequently delayed for women that are pregnant in prison, making the procedure become increasingly more expensive and sometimes endangering the health of the mother who has limited access to medical assistance. The flip side is women who are in prison and choose to continue their pregnancy have incredibly inadequate care in the Virginia prison system. In a recent report, Mothers Behind Bars, Virginia received an F+ for its care offered to pregnant women in prison. Institutions of confinement in Virginia are not even required to report on the pregnancy outcomes of women in their custody. That means that we don't even know how many miscarriages women have in prison. We don't know the prenatal rates. There's no accountability for the prison system related to pregnant women. Prenatal care is substandard in Virginia. Miscarriages are not treated as emergencies for the women that have them. And the Virginia Department of Corrections has refused to adopt a policy banning shackling women who are in labor or giving birth to their children. Can be held in shackles in Virginia. So even if a woman is not pregnant, preventative care is terrible in Virginia. Women are denied pap tests, treatments for ovarian cysts, and other necessary healthcare procedures. Women can wind up with life-threatening conditions, and they can lose their ability to have children for the rest of their life. But the most important thing that I want to talk to you about today is the impact on the broader community and our families when women are incarcerated. And we see this as crucial to reproductive justice. The majority of women that are incarcerated in the United States are single mothers. 2/3 of these women are women of color, and most of them are in prison for minor drug infractions. Maintaining relationships with their children becomes increasingly challenging thanks to limited visiting hours, the exorbitant costs of phone calls, and the mere long distance between home and where they are kept in prison. Women who must place their children in foster care when they are incarcerated risk losing their children forever. Thanks to the Federal Adoption and Safe Families Act, if your child is in foster care for 15 of the last 22 months, they're no longer your child. So it is incredibly difficult to regain custody of your children. Once out of prison, if you have a federal record, especially a drug conviction, which as mentioned are what most women are in prison for, it is a difficult or not impossible to get public housing, jobs, food stamps, and public assistance such as TANF. If you don't have a place to live or a stable income, it is almost impossible to regain custody of your children and begin the process of renewing your family life together. But people across the country are struggling against the dehumanizing treatment of incarcerated women and people in this country. And that's what all of you all here are doing today. So Richmond Reproductive Freedom Project, wants to tell you that we see our work as connected to all of your work, and such as RIHD's work to get TANF benefits restored to women that have felony drug convictions. That's so important. So we want to thank you for inviting us to speak with you guys, and thank you for all the work that you do.
All right.